Sir, we weren't really trying to hurt that guy.
Yeah, you're just pulling his ass out of that car to see if he was okay, right?
He almost killed Mary. She's like a kid sister to me.
Mia. Her name's Mia.
That's what I meant, Mia.
You don't even know her. You just want to beat someone up. You know what? Here's your chance. Come on. Have fun. I get my cuffs back later.
So, that's our ringleader?
Yeah, not so tough now, is he?
Why do I always have to be the bad cop?
Because you're good at it.
Yeah, I know. But it kind of gets old.
Yes, but it works.
Let's say hypothetically I was playing the good cop, right? You think I'd be a good cop?
No. You're a little too, rough around the edges.
I can be nice. It's like a boxer in the ring, right? You gotta know when to punch. You gotta know when to punch and jab. And you gotta know let your opponent breathe.
That's...
You know?
Yeah. It's delicate. Come on, let's go.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Buzz Talk Live from Paradise Studios in Massapequa, Long Island, my new home. You know, I tell you, I'm so excited to be here tonight. We're going to have new episodes. We're going to have a new format. I have a live guest. I'm in a beautiful place, and I'm part of the Strong Island Entertainment family. You know, I can't say enough about Bobby Lazzaro, who runs the facilities here. And he does a great job. And I tell you, if you're a content creator out there and you need a place to produce your show or just to be on air, you know, come see Bobby down here at Paradise Studios in Massapequa. You know, tonight's a special night here at the Buzz Talk Live program. It marks our 4th season. And 2 years that I haven't been on the air. And I said to myself, what the hell am I doing? I got to get back to Buzz Talk Live. I just need to, you know, more guests. And now with the new facilities, guess what? I have a live guest, and we'll get to him in a second. You know, it also, you know, it marks, I don't know, I guess it just marks seasons of interviewing interesting people from the entertainment, sports, and industry people. But tonight's guest is an award-winning New York local actor, Chris Lazzaro. And Chris is also a comedian, and he's an award-winning independent actor. He's had starring roles in Blue Bloods, Marvel's Luke Cage on Netflix. He also starred in Tony and Tina's Wedding in Times Square for a stint. Please, everybody, welcome for my first time live on Buzz Talk Live, Chris Lazzaro to the show. How you doing, Chris?
Great.
All right, buddy.
Thank you for having me, George.
Thank you for being here. My God, this is monumental. I'll tell you that right now, because we're creating history right here on the Buzz Talk Live show. Because for 2 years, 2 years past, and then for 2 years from COVID, out of COVID, you know, I was doing this show all virtual. And now I was given this opportunity to be in this beautiful facilities. And now it's just, I don't know, I'm just going to run with it and see what happens.
It is an amazing studio.
Isn't it great?
I mean, I was expecting high. I had high expectations, and this definitely exceeded the expectations. This is a gorgeous studio.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Hence my behind-the-scenes, pre-interview, behind-the-scenes live video for Instagram that I uploaded to my story. Right. If you need to check out the studio.
No, this, you know, and I'll tell you, having you as the first guest is because we have a little bit of a history with one another. It started back in Orlando at the film festival, the Orlando Film Festival, where I first met you. and first saw Art Thief that you were in, which you knocked it out of the park there and won, award for Best Supporting. We'll get to that. But you're a local kid, right? You're from Brooklyn, right? And
Well, we're in Massapequa, Long Island, so
Strong Island, come on.
I guess we could say local. Anybody from Long Island to New York to Jersey, all, especially the Italian background. But we could consider each other locals to each other's communities, right?
Well,
So I have a lot of affiliations with Long Island, but yes, I was born and raised in Brooklyn.
yeah. Well, somebody once told me that Queens is part of Long Island, which it's an ongoing debate.
They only told you that once? You haven't heard that a thousand times?
Forget about it. And
Yeah.
it's usually people from New Jersey that tells me these things.
It's true.
I think there's a
Now, I don't know
there's a whole other planet in New Jersey. But
there's they say in Brooklyn, a lot of people, they graduate from Brooklyn to Staten Island onto Jersey. Now, I wonder
I
where
never
Long
heard that.
Island fits into that equation. Probably
Ah.
Brooklyn to maybe to Queens to Long Island, or maybe
Right,
just Brooklyn
right,
to Long
right,
Island. Like people that grow up in Brooklyn, they want more space, so they move to the next place.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I used to hang out in Bensonhurst, man, on the Bay Streets. Bath 41st, is it?
Bay 41st,
Bay 41st,
but it's
Bay
like Bath Avenue
Right.
over there.
It's not far from the pizzeria where they film Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so
18th
everybody's
Avenue,
gonna kill me for this, but
L&B's.
I've never seen Saturday Night Fever, but I know they filmed
Right.
a lot of Saturday Night Fever in Bay Ridge.
Right.
So
right.
I'm not sure which pizzeria it was, but I've heard
L&B's.
that. Was it L&B?
Yeah.
Oh, L&B's.
No, they didn't
my
film
favorite.
it there.
Yeah.
It was some other pizzeria. I'm losing it for right now, but it'll come back to me. But anyway, Brooklyn, born and raised, right? And here you are. You got some skills. Let's put up basketball. Let's put up the headshots. And so here you are. There's your basketball, and let's put up the headshots. There you go. So let's talk about some of these headshots that will.
Could I actually
Yeah.
the first picture you showed, the basketball picture?
Yeah.
That picture actually embodies pretty much my life. And what I mean by that is, I could go into a whole story about basketball, but I'll basically just say I spent the first 18 years of my life only caring about basketball. Maybe from about 4 years old to 18 years old, I only cared about basketball, basically.
Yeah.
And then from 18 on to what I am now in my 30s, I'm not going to say only cared about acting, but the majority of my life, first half basketball, second half acting, with some other things intertwined. But so that photo there was one of, I graduated college 2011. That was a modeling shoot that I did in Governor's Island or one of those, Roosevelt Island, coincidentally for a basketball shoot.
Oh wow.
So it basically combined the meeting of my life of basketball with acting. That shoot.
Well, I can see it. I mean, look, basketball, and we're going to show your skills here in a minute, but that's a obviously competitive sport, and with that comes finding out more about yourself as a player, and coming into it with the tools that you have. But let's show them some basketball skills on.
I sent you a grainy video, but I hope.
You don't want to give me the left side, and you don't want to give me the right side. Where do you want to go then? Come on, put your hand over here. That's right.
I tell you, I had to get that last shot in because you were running there.
So I didn't know you were going to use so what you pulled that from was my athletic montage. That's
Right.
what I named it.
Right.
My athletic montage that I made years ago to submit for certain athletic roles.
Oh, okay.
So those were some compilations that I basically put together
Good.
myself. I think there was a clip or two from a league game in there, but
Well,
yeah, the me running shirtless on the treadmill. I didn't know you were going to show that.
You know, I mean, I had to show that. Yeah, come on. As far as the skills with your athleticism in basketball, skill competitions and stuff like that, right? I mean, you won some stuff.
When I was younger, so I went to a Greek school for a million years. I'm half Greek, half Italian.
Oh,
And in
okay.
the Greek school, the Greek communities,
Right.
I was always one of the best players in New York City.
Got it,
I would average 30, 35 points a game in those leagues. Then I went to high school. I played very competitive, one of the best private school basketball teams in the state, Poly Prep in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
Joakim Noah, the pro, came out of there. I was on
wow.
JV when he was on varsity, but we practiced
Wow,
together
wow,
sometimes.
wow.
My coach was a guy, Bill McNally, who literally instilled in us the most disciplined type habits that honestly, I could talk about this for a long time, but to make a long story short, the discipline that Coach McNally put within his players, I took it into every other field in life, whether
Wow.
it's patience, hard work,
Yeah.
doing those suicides, insane amounts of suicides where you can't breathe anymore.
you-
Basically, fight through it.
So you basically found yourself,
Definitely.
playing the sport that you love,
Yeah.
and then having these life skills, with basketball and having these mentors that kind of just wrote you along the way.
The guy Bill McNally I'm talking about, he had several Division I college offers.
Oh, wow.
He would go and scout other teams
Right.
from all over. No, he would bring us pages of scouting reports in high school.
Oh, wow.
And so all the players, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old kids, were looking at these long scouting reports before we know everything about the other team, which is crazy.
Wow.
We were ranked in
Gotta
the
have an
top
edge.
10 a
Gotta have an
couple
edge.
years. We ranked top 10 in the state.
Yeah.
And so that he was an
Cool.
amazing coach.
Cool. So let's put up the some of these headshots again, because with basketball, you're moving into acting now, and you're finding your space in certain roles, right? Starting out, and just some of these shots that we're looking at is just your early on photos, or are the
Well, some of them are older and some of them are newer. That one is a newer one. That's the headshot I use mostly now because
Okay.
it kind of
Okay.
represents.
well, you're a character, basically. You're a
Yes.
character.
People ask me, do you play more,
Yeah, no, you're a
comedy or
character.
more drama? But to tell you, see, that one, I had a year of long facial hair.
Oh,
long
okay.
hair.
Right.
That was a different type of character look. But to be honest, people ask me, do I do more drama or more comedy? And I think I'm pretty strong in both. I know any actor would say that, but the truth is I've done a ton of both.
Right,
So,
right.
it's really hard to say.
Well, I tell you, let's just talk about your comedy, because I have a clip here of the Jersey Shore. Let's put up the picture of the Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore Massacre.
Jersey Shore Massacre. Let's get that right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the horror movie.
Let's get that right. But this was interesting project that you had, right? I mean,
This was one of my first bigger feature films. Again, paying feature films
Right.
out of college. I think we shot that in around 2013.
wow.
But it was it got buzz Talk Live. It got buzz worldwide because it was around the time the Jersey Shore show on MTV was blowing up, which I ended up playing the Guido type character a million times, not just for this movie, but I have a kind of a famous laugh I do in the movie that they were writing about in magazines and horror things all over.
Oh, really?
I'm not going to say it's, a 8 or 9 out of 10 movie, but does it have its scary parts and does it have its comedic parts as a cheesy, campy type movie? Absolutely. People enjoy it, and they got some of the Howard Stern people are in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Sal the Stockbroker, Richard Christie,
Oh, cool.
Dominic the Door from the Whack Pack, what's his name? Bigfoot from the Whack Pack, and then JWoww from the Jersey Shore.
Right.
She had like millions of followers at the time, and she probably still does. But the producers of our Jersey Shore Massacre movie contacted her once our movie was made, showed it to her. She loved it, so she attached her name. So her and a couple of the other Jersey Shore cast members came to our premiere.
Oh,
we had
that's
a
cool.
huge premiere in Manhattan, and it kind of went all over the place.
Well, I think we have a clip here of the Jersey Shore. Let's run that. This is going to be good.
What do you want?
There's 4 of them, and there's 3 of us. So you know what that means?
No one gonna get with anyone till we figure out a way to extract the grenade.
Girls, you guys want a donut?
Yours are good.
What are you guys talking about over there?
Tony just wanted to find out the square root of 37, so I figured I'd help him out, you know?
You must be good with numbers.
Well, know a perfect 10 when I see one.
You're so sweet. I never got to tell you about my ferret, Mr. Wiggles.
Oh yeah, I'm so interested. Please tell me.
Every Christmas, I dress him up in a ballerina costume.
Wow. Jeez.
What?
Oh, nothing. I just wish I had a cigarette when we talked about Mr. Wiggles.
We could drive into town to get a pack if you want.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Then we could smoke cigarettes and talk about Mr. Wiggles all night.
Let's go.
All right. Hey, all right. I'll tell you, that was funny. That's hysterical. When I first saw that, Chris, I was like, wait, what the hell am I looking at here? And then I realized that, you know, it was kind of a spoof film, you know, but it had the horror to it and everything, which we didn't get into.
There's some good horror parts in the movie.
Yeah.
Some really good scary parts.
And would you play Freddy? Is it
Freddy.
Freddy.
People would ask me around that time. That type of role I stopped playing years ago just because the genre hasn't been as popular.
Right.
But people would ask me, like, how are you so good at doing that kind of role? And I would say, because I'm a retired Guido. I used to be that.
You're a Cougine. Yeah.
Or that.
Yeah.
So, you know, my friends and I, we were spiking our hair and wearing earrings before the Jersey Shore show ever came out.
I know.
So, you know, in the Brooklyn, Long Island, Jersey, that's what we were doing. So I tried to channel that buffoonery, if that's a word, buffoonery, into a professional way to make people laugh.
When you're Italian, buffoonery is a common word. You know. So Jersey Shore, Blue Bloods was it around that time or is it?
So perfect time. I know Lou was in the chat and he said, "Give me a
Lou?
shout
Oh
out."
yeah, I forgot.
So
Lou is pissed.
Lou Martini Jr., here's your shout out, my man, because this connects, and he probably doesn't know where I'm going with this, but you asked me about Blue Bloods. So Lou Martini Jr. is an actor. I told you about him. I wanted you to get him as a guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lou, you're coming on the show.
So he's an actor from The Sopranos.
Right.
Okay. Fun fact, he's the only actor in history to be in both The Godfather and The Sopranos. He was a little kid in one of the scenes in The Godfather.
Oh.
But he...
Oh, the wedding scene, right?
Yeah. I met him on a set, I believe, of a Mob Wives commercial. That's the set I believe I met him on. Mm-hmm. We started chatting. We're both crazy into sports and obviously acting. And he ended up kind of becoming like a coach for me. We ended up going to some basketball games together.
Oh, cool.
And
he's saying, absolutely, yeah. He's agreeing.
We became really good friends, and I don't know if he remembers this. I was having trouble personally as an actor. I was having a lot of trouble booking an episodic on TV. I had booked some feature films before that.
Right.
I could not get a guest star role or co-star role on TV.
Right.
Finally, my Blue Bloods audition. Lou was the guy that I was working on those scenes with him before the audition, and then I finally cracked the code, did Blue Bloods, and then ended up thankfully booking a bunch more later on. But I had to break the ice, and Lou, you helped me with that, so thank you.
Wow. That's all. I tell you, Lou, if you're still there, if you didn't get pissed off enough, but you got to come back on. You got to come on this show. We'll be in touch, I'm sure, down the road. But so you got Blue Bloods. You did some soap opera stuff, right? Yeah, playing probably a bad guy.
I did Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, I nail you as a bad guy or something. Right?
Yeah, I did Days of Our Lives in Los Angeles. It was a quick thing, but you know they paid me for everything.
Good.
And oh my God, soap operas shoot so fast. Oh my.
Do they?
For those of you who have never filmed on a TV show or even a feature film, some of the days you're sitting there for hours upon hours. You're just sitting there. You're not doing anything. You're not filming. It can take 12 hours to film a 3-minute scene.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, soap opera. Boom, boom, boom. They're filming almost a whole episode in a day, which is pretty insane.
Wow. So you're building up your resume, right?
Now we're talking
IMDb.
2013, 2014.
Right.
Are we still there? Or are you talking about currently?
Yeah. No, I mean, you're building up your resume throughout the years, right? With the Blue Bloods and
Blue Bloods and the soap were around the same time.
Yeah.
2014.
So where did this Marvel movie I mentioned in the open?
TV show?
Yeah.
Luke Cage?
Yeah, Luke Cage.
So Luke Cage is a show on Netflix.
Right.
That was around 2018. So that was about 6 years ago or something. That's my guess. It was between 17 and 19, but I'm going to guess 18.
Right.
Yeah, so I play a jail inmate. You know, my typecast is the
but that's cool,
is
man.
the tough guy.
No, but that's good. And you know, I'll tell you the open. We did the the good cop bad cop scene.
Good cop bad cop.
And I saw that I was dying laughing, you know, because I can laugh, I can smile, I can. Hysterical.
Here's the thing, and we'll probably get back to this later, but. The reason why you probably thought good cop, bad cop, it's kind of funny, or you know, the reason I've had success with those types of roles in the past, and especially when we talk about Art Thief, because it's a current thing, and I won the best supporting actor in 4 different festivals for it, which we'll get to. The reason I think I'm winning those awards for that, or they like me in those types of roles, are because I play the heavy, dramatic. Tough guy character, but I also add the twist of comedy. Usually I add some comedy to it, and I'm not saying I'm Joe Pesci, I'm not in his league.
No.
People have said, oh, you remind me of Joe Pesci with that type of
Is he one of your heroes as far as character?
I don't really have, there's certain actors that I like, but I don't look up to anyone or strive to be like that person. I take
you're your own character.
Yeah.
You have to be. To be real,
if I ever try to emulate somebody, it doesn't usually happen beforehand. Like it'll pop in my head, like, oh, I see somebody do that. Oh, that's a good nugget to add to this role or to this audition or whatever it is. Like for example, Jesse from Breaking Bad, the character Jesse, his name is Aaron Paul. Like there was a subtlety that he did with his tough guy roles that I had started incorporating. Like he was more like internal, like, oh my God, you bitch, and I never had that in me. I had more like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? So like I incorporated a little of the Jesse in some things, for example.
Yeah. Now, not only you studied under Stella, right?
I did Stella Adler. That was right out of college.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome, man. And you teach too.
I've taught out of La Creme Modeling School, which is a modeling school out of New Jersey. They have an acting program.
Okay.
And I was teaching consistently with them from around 2015 until COVID, 2020. And then since COVID, I've been teaching on and off with them because I do it basically on Zoom now.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, they did that all through COVID, the Zoom thing.
So there was life... Before the way that people say like BC before Christ, I always say BC before COVID. Before COVID.
After COVID.
Things are,
Let's hope that
changed,
doesn't come back, and I don't want to get into
another topic.
Another topic for another day. So you're finding your way with these independent films, and you're finding them to the fact that you're really making your name for yourself. I mean, when I first met you down in Orlando, I was like, "Who's this guy?" And then we had a drink, right? And you at the bar, and
We're
then
not supposed to say we had a drink. We kept
What?
everything professional.
Come on. We had a drink.
No, we had more than one drink.
We had more than one drink. No, but that's how you meet people. Let's be fair, okay? Especially
It's true,
for
yeah.
film festivals and stuff like that. If you ever go, that's eccentric. That's part of it. Right?
Of course, and at my older age now, I don't
Right.
usually
I
go
know.
out and socialize,
Right,
but
right.
you have to.
Right.
You have to go, meet
have to.
people and
You have
see
to.
see what's going on.
But what I found in you, and this is before I even knew you, and you just struck me as a character because just the way you were, and I seen that thread throughout your personality, and I'm like, Jesus, this guy is. I've never seen anybody, like you, like kind of like you're out there a little bit, And then when I saw the film, because this was before I saw the film Art Thief. And then you just rocked every freaking scene you were in, man. And I'm like, shit, this guy is good. He is good.
Thank you.
No, seriously.
Yeah, when people see either that film or other acting stuff I've done, because I try to have a more kind of subtle energy
Right.
regular conversations. I mean, I'm probably not naturally like more eccentric by nature, but I do, compared to how I come off on screen, or I've done 10 years of kids entertainment. I've been a
Right.
clown and magician at kids parties for 10 years. So
Yeah.
I have, and I came from a theater background in
Right,
college. So
right.
I have a huge personality if I put it on display
Yeah,
when I'm performing.
right.
So people see me and they're like, I did not expect that to come out of you. But
And you didn't come prepared for any magic, right? This is.
I did not.
I know. It's
could've.
okay.
I
That's
didn't.
all right. It's all right. Just don't make me disappear, and we'll have a great show.
And David Blaine has gone on some talk shows, and he's like swallowing frogs.
Oh, yeah,
Did you see
yeah.
those? He's eating
Yeah,
glass,
yeah,
actual
yeah.
glass, and swallowing frogs. And I think that's real. I think that's all real.
Yeah, well,
It's
that
crazy.
is, well, I have a story about that with my, well, it's not my cousin Vinny, but it's a dear friend of mine, Larry Bogish. His cousin Vinny was on the Howard Stern show. And I don't know if you remember this guy, but he was the one that laid on the bed of nails, and he did all this craziness, took a hammer and hit himself on the head, or did something like out there,
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I think the way the story goes is that to prepare for it, he drank milk, and the reason being is that he was gonna ingest a live mouse in his mouth. So
That's why Stern put him on?
Well, I don't know if he did it on the Stern. I think he might have done it on the Stern. Larry, if you're tuning in, if you want to chat it in to correct me on the story, but the way I remember hearing it was that, he drank milk. He figures that the milk, first of all, he's a great guy, fun-loving guy, but I don't know if he had his what is it called, the anesthesia, or not anesthesia, how to coat his stomach correctly for ingesting a mouse without catching
I don't know the
anything.
medical term, but...
But this is what I'm saying, and he did it, and he laid on a bed of nails, had somebody hit him with a sledgehammer. I mean, he did these things on a Howard Stern show, but I don't want to get it. So getting back to Art Thief, and let's put up the picture, the Art Thief picture. You knocked it out of the park with this film, and you won Best Supporting Actor for this film.
Yeah.
And it showcased, where I first saw it, showcased in Orlando, and then we met up with one another again, surprisingly enough, in Sarasota, where I was with my film, and now Art Thief. This is taken off because you just had a screening, didn't you, in Massachusetts, right?
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
So, yeah, I met you.
Right.
I met you for your documentary in Orlando, that's right. Had you seen the film? Did you see Art Thief in Orlando or Sarasota?
I saw it in both. I
saw it in both?
first saw it in Orlando because there was a big buzz about it, and I'm like, I gotta watch this.
Yeah. So I mean, I do. This is gonna sound like an oxymoron, I guess, because I'm on a show basically promoting myself, but it's not something that I love to do. But that's what I'm here for, and that's what actors have to do. So I'm gonna praise this movie right now. Art Thief, starting out. Well, first of all, let me say the director and writer Arthur Egley wrote it with his wife Heather Egley. Their last couple movies are on Netflix. One of them is The Black Emperor of Broadway. I'm not in that one. There's one, Murder on the Cape. That's on Netflix currently.
Right, I saw that one too.
So Arthur comes from a film background, but also he's a real artist, a real painter. So he has a knowledge on anything, artwork, or galleries, like nobody else. So in this movie, basically, let me first say what the movie's about. It's the 1990 robbery of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. They stole $500 million of paintings, which is the biggest heist in American history to this day. They never found the paintings.
Yeah.
To make a long story short, the museum's in Boston. So this movie is Arthur, the writer's interpretation of how the robbery went down, and he maybe adds a little bit of Hollywood to it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
You have to.
But regardless, the story seems to be captive. So the first thing that happened with Art Thief was Orlando let us know from about a month before they were going to feature the Art Thief as the opening night film. So it was on a Thursday, because the festival really starts on a Friday. So they were featuring it on the Thursday. So some of the cast and crew flew out to Orlando. I was there. My parents were there. And they showed the film, and we had a nice crowd, and it got a nice it was
review.
Received well.
Right.
And then it turns out by the end of the festival, it won the best picture.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. I was at the festival for a week. There was 300 something films there.
Yeah, there was a lot of films there.
I saw about 100 of them.
Yeah.
Because I was there for a week.
You didn't see mine though.
I didn't see yours.
That's okay. That's okay. I put you on the spot
But
there.
some of the films were incredible.
Yeah.
My friend Nick DeRue.
I was in a different block, but it's okay.
It was tough because you meet a lot of people there.
Right.
And a lot of
Then you gotta
people's
chill
movies
out.
are playing at the same time.
Exactly.
So you kept finding yourself in that
Yeah,
predicament.
yeah.
But so Art Thief won at that festival Best Picture.
Wow.
Out of all these crazy films, I won the Best Supporting Actor. Jackie Emerson won the Best Actress.
Yeah.
And
she was good too.
Max Deacon was nominated for the Best
Yeah,
Actor.
yeah.
And I have to throw this in there now because this movie's starting to kind of blow up.
It's blowing up.
We also won basically the same awards in Sarasota. Same 3 awards. I personally also won in Culver City, Best Supporting Actor.
Nice.
Culver City in California. In the Chandler Film Festival, Max won the Best Actor. It also won the Best Picture. It won the Best Picture there, and we just got news that there was like 200 or 300 distribution companies interested in the film.
Cool.
This news just came out 2 days ago when I was in Massachusetts. Cool. We signed with Glass House Distribution.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, Glass House Distribution.
Glass House is big, man.
And it's also going to be in
the
Berlin film market in a couple months. So it's blowing up.
You gotta see that. Well, we do have a clip. I want to set it up. So your character, again, Bobby the Rat, is your character, right?
That's what they call me. That's what
Bobby
they
the
call
Rat.
me in the
So
film.
let's tee this clip up. This is I'm going to call it the double cross. So you want to kind of so the audience can understand what they're watching here.
Well, I don't want to ruin the movie.
Don't ruin the movie. Lead into it.
However, what I will say is, how can I say this without ruining the movie?
Maybe.
This is let's just say the 2 people you're going to see in the scene, me and Max Deacon. His real name is Max Deacon. We were friendly before this scene, and then this happens. This is all I could say without ruining the movie for you.
You know what? Watch it for the acting. Watch it for the acting. All right, let's roll the clip.
We did it! Let's go! Oh my God. We're gonna be rich. We're gonna be rich.
Bobby, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Just do me a favor.
Yeah?
Pull the car over.
No. We gotta keep going. We gotta. Just
I
get a couple of miles clear, all right?
I understand that, but just pull the car over. I got something to tell
What are
you.
you talking about, Bobby? I gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. What are you talking about?
I'm not asking you. I'm telling you to pull the car over.
Bobby, I'm not gonna pull the car over. We gotta.
Pull the car over!
What are you doing?
Pull the fucking car over right
put
now!
the gun down.
I'm
Bobby.
not
Put
playing
the gun
games
down.
with you!
Jesus Christ, Bobby, put the gun down.
Pull the car over!
All right!
Right now! Pull!
Jesus.
Now get out! Get out of the car!
Getting out. Put the gun down.
I'm not playing games with you. I'm not playing games with you!
All right.
Leave the keys!
What are you doing, Bobby? What are you doing, Bobby? What are you
Give
doing?
me the keys to the car right now! I'm not playing games anymore!
This wasn't the plan.
The plan has changed.
Listen to me. I promise you, however you think this is gonna go, it's not how it's gonna go. What do you know about art, huh? You can't just sell this to your friends.
You think you're in control? I'm in control! Give me the keys!
I got you out of jail, man. You were withering in there.
You're not that stupid, are you, Kevin? I got myself out of jail because you're too stupid! All that in jail was a game that you fell for!
I'm smart enough to know when I'm getting screwed.
No, you're not. I've been screwing you all along and you've been enjoying it. Now give me the goddamn keys!
Come on.
Ah! No! Give me the keys! Now! Give me the keys!
It's my
Now!
girlfriend's car, man! Come on!
Shut up!
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh. Okay. No. Ah.
Bobby the Rat. But look, again, your character is great, and how you take these roles, and how long does it take you to ingest the character and kind of like, all right, I think I got this, and give your angle. Now, as the writer of this film, or any writer, they have an idea of what the character should be. But then when an actor grabs this role and he sees it for himself or herself, right? You're looking at this and you're like, all right, how am I gonna portray this person? Or is there anything like that coming to you?
I have 3 thoughts that come to mind. I'll try to make them quick.
Okay.
The first is this particular role. Arthur wrote it for me because I've worked with him twice before.
I got you.
So that's the quick point.
Right.
The second point is when I got out of college, the first film that I think it's my first IMDb credit. I produced it and I was in it. I was playing a heavy dramatic role, and I got so crazy in my head mentally, like preparing for the role, like wanting to like just be this like psycho, like killer backstabber, and it was like messing with me mentally for a couple weeks. And it was intense. It was so intense mentally that like I kind of told myself after that, I got to get into these roles without doing that. And to each actor their own, different methods. Which brings me to my third point about this, which is, I was a theater major in college.
Oh, okay.
So I think anybody that comes from a theater background, the education that you get from it, you're doing intense script analysis, voice work, rehearsing like crazy, usually for months before you put something up. You have one take to do everything. All these different tools. And then I brought it to the film world, which, not to discourage any film actors, but film was much easier for me because I came from the theater background.
Right.
I had...
Well, theater, you're learning everything, Is there like a favorite genre of roles or acting?
Just to finish what I was saying.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So after that theater background in college, then I did Stella Adler. More intense stuff, intense stuff.
Okay.
I took all these casting director classes at Actors Connection in New York, and I even did programs out in LA. So I met all these casting directors that were all these different methods, all these different acting methods, all that stuff. So to come full circle years later, what I find best for me in preparing for these roles is I might have an idea in my head usually of how I want to play it, but I'm very simple. I don't break down what a lot of actors say, like the Stanislavski method, or write down actions for each beat or all that.
Really?
I kind of just want to be true to the words, and I want to make it interesting. That's what I do. I try to be true to the words and make it interesting.
Well, that's what a great actor does, because, you know, assuming the role, assuming the character, right? Being a chameleon, you're becoming that actor. That's all.
Live in the moment.
That's method acting. Right?
Live in the moment. Listen.
Right.
And especially for auditions, because like if there's two things I could tell anybody for auditions, in my opinion, like I said, be genuine to the words.
Right.
But you also have to make it interesting, because you have to be genuine to the words, because if you're not, they're going to stop watching your TV.
Without a doubt.
Now, if you're genuine to the words, you might have a chance, but there's still 20 other actors that are genuine to the words. So how are you going to make yourself different?
Yeah.
Or how are you going to stand out? You have to do something, whether it's physical, vocal, emotional, whatever it is, something that makes you stand out. The best acting teacher in the world is this guy, Bob Krakauer. He's look him up, Bob Krakauer. He's been a major casting
here?
Director. What?
Local here?
He's a New York guy. He grew up in New York.
Okay.
Was a coach on set for years.
Nice.
But he one of the things that he said in his class is impossible to get into. One of the things he said in his class is men have a tendency to want to be mad and like fight, and women have a tendency to want to cry. Well, you know, in acting or auditions. So how are you going to veer away from the natural, you know, thing that every other guy's doing or every other girl's doing to make you stand out? So that's one of his many nuggets that stuck with me.
But that also goes back to what you said about being truthful and, you know, have your acting, right, come through with how your personality is, and not so much put it on. Don't put it on. Don't cry. Don't yell and scream. That's, I mean, look, I'm not an actor, but from what I understand, that and what I see, when I see good acting, that's what I take from it. The truthfulness in that character. And
when
what
you're
they're
watching
trying
a film,
you know, portray.
When you're watching,
don't put it on.
You could tell if the tears seem real.
Yeah. Oh,
you know, you tune out a little bit if it seems fraudulent.
Again, you know, these roles, and then going back. I mean, some of the shows that are out. I mean, Gravesend. I mean, you had a small little role in Gravesend. I saw it, and you played a kid, right, on a bike or something like that. Was that the
Pretty
role?
much, yeah.
Right, it was a kid on a bike.
Yeah, that I shot 2 years ago, so that's very recent.
Right.
Maybe
right. I think
2 years ago.
Well, it was in season 2.
It just
of
came
Gravesend.
out.
Great show, by the way. Gravesend,
also,
great show.
things take months, if not years, to come out. That's why I see.
Yeah,
Shoot in 1
right,
year.
right.
So I play a kid smoking angel dust and
right,
stuff like that. So I try to still, even though I'm in my 30s, I think if you know, wear the backwards hat or different looks with the facial hair or things of that nature.
You kind of get into it.
You could pull off the 21 to probably late 30s.
Yeah.
Like I try to have that range still. You know.
So we're talking about. I want to talk about collaboration, and you were involved with some co-producing projects. Am I saying it right? Omicron Killer.
Omicron Killer.
Omicron Killer. So that's pretty recent, right?
Not only is it recent, we just signed a deal for theatrical release in different theaters in the country. Like, that just happened.
Oh,
we had the
cool.
premiere of the movie last year, or toward the end of last year, and the guy, the writer and director is Jeff Knight. He's a really close friend of mine. I met him only a couple years ago. One of my friends, Chris Lazzaro, who's an actor too, he linked me with Jeff Knight.
Oh, nice.
And Jeff Knight is one of the hardest working, most brilliant, creative-minded people I met. We had our first conversation on the phone. We were on the phone for 3 hours. We were on the phone for 3 hours just talking about acting, talking about coming up, creating, writing, all that stuff. And we like-minded individuals try to or tend to gravitate toward each other. Jeff Knight to this day is one of my closest friends. I talk to him on the phone almost every day about that project, other projects. So the point is, he brought me on as a producer early on. I helped do some of the casting for the movie.
Okay.
A lot of things on set.
And you're in it.
Yeah, I'm in it. I don't have any big roles in the movie, but I play 4 different characters in the movie, small roles.
Well,
4 different characters that I'm disguised in different looks.
we do have a trailer for the movie. It's a quick trailer. Let's see. I'll make out Killer.
Ajax, shut up! Cindy, is that you? Cindy, are you here? Cindy? Cindy? Cindy, are you here? Cindy, are you fucking with me? It's not funny!
That's good stuff,
It's pretty
man.
creepy. Yeah, so the
It's
4 names...
disturbing. I don't know. So the way it's shot, some of the scenes.
The 4 names that it showed there: Lynn Lowry, Felissa Rose, Byling,
Right.
and Rob Emmer. Rob Emmer's from Impractical Jokers.
Okay.
And the other 3 are all famous horror stars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're all like huge in the horror genre. And we're making a sequel to that movie.
Of course
where
you are.
I'm gonna be one of the lead
Cool,
detectives
cool.
and stuff like that.
Cool. So let's talk about some impactful projects that you've had. Being a part of, being associated with people that you would never think that you'd cross paths with this person. What do you got for me? I mean, I'm sure that something's happened along the way that was.
When you say impactful projects, is there a direction that you're going with this?
Well,
Because
I mean, as far as personally to you, that you were part of, that you were happy that person called you or something like that.
I mean, there's so many that
There's
come
so
to
many.
mind. And,
Right.
this is off the top of my head. In college, a play that we did called the Laramie Project. Have you heard of it?
No.
The Laramie Project is based on Matthew Shepard. He was a gay kid in Colorado in the early 2000s, I believe. Now it's been so long since we did this play, and he got beaten and killed for just for being gay, and it was it was super impactful to me. I personally reached out to the writers of the story who did all these interviews to get more information, and by the end of the show, everybody on stage was crying. I did. You know who Rich Little is, right?
Of course. Do you comedian Rich Little?
Yeah, comedian Rich Little. Yeah. So 2021, the summer of 21, which was COVID, we were one of the only 2 shows running at a certain time in the summer.
Oh.
We did a show on. Rich Little played Nixon in the show,
Right.
President Nixon.
Right.
And we did a show.
He does a great Nixon, by the way.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Rich Little, for those of you that
he's
don't
a
know,
legend. He's
a legend.
Yeah.
He's a comedy legend from the
He is.
60s, 70s,
Yeah.
80s. He's 80-something years old now.
Yeah.
But we did a show based on the Watergate scandal with Nixon.
Right.
And I'm skipping a lot of stuff, but long story short, the show was super impactful because there's so much foreshadowing of what goes on politically and in Washington, D.C. from the 60s all the way to today. It's almost like a microcosm of what happened today. And it was, I played a lawyer in it, so I had to do all this research about, either not only how to play a lawyer, but certain lawyer terminology and intricate details of real documents and all that. That was super impactful.
So we're running low on time, but I wanted to get to Christmas at Miller's Point.
Christmas Eve at Miller's Point.
Christmas Eve at Miller's Point. Let's put up the graphic on that. And I want to discuss, because that was all shot here in Long Island, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you got
Smithtown.
there? Is that, that's
I think
Tyler,
that's,
I think.
Yeah, that is Tyler.
That's Tyler, the
Tyler
writer.
Spielberg, right?
No, that's Tyler
Oh, no,
Taormina.
that's...
If I saw it correctly.
Right, okay.
And I'm not sure what that is. I can't see.
Yeah, these are just interior shots
Okay.
that I pulled, but just wanted to give a flavor of this production.
So to speak about the movie, Christmas Eve at Miller's Point,
Right.
I can't tell from here if that's Tyler or not, but Tyler is the writer and the director, Tyler Taormina. He's a young filmmaker. He's one of, if not the most gifted person I've ever met in this industry. Genius. Director.
That's saying
working
something
with him.
there. You're hanging
he's
yourself up there.
unbelievable. He's creative mind. He has a film called Ham on Rye that blew up a few years ago.
Okay.
And the story as I know it, Tyler told it to me personally a couple times. Michael Cera, those of you that don't know, he's one of the two main characters in Superbad, but he's all over the place, Michael Cera. Michael Cera reached out to Tyler and told Tyler he wants to make a movie with him. And that's where Christmas Eve at Miller's Point came along. So Michael Cera is one of the producers on the movie. Tyler's the director.
Okay.
And it's a movie starring a lot of big name actors. Not that that's what you need to make a good movie, but it's just a testament to all the, to how valued Tyler and Michael's work will be. Michael Cera's in the movie. I'm in the movie. I play, as usual, the Italian outcast cousin.
Of course.
It'll be coming out around Christmas this year, but there's so many articles on it. Martin Scorsese's daughter's in the movie. She's an incredible actress. Before I ever knew that was his daughter, I was in a scene
So she
with her.
didn't produce. She was in that.
She was in the movie.
She was in the movie.
I did a scene with her, and I told her after the scene, this is before I knew it was Scorsese's daughter, I said, "You're a super gifted actress."
Wow. Chris, come on. It doesn't fall far from the tree.
I know, but you never. Steven Spielberg's son's in the movie.
Again, doesn't fall far from the tree.
Coincidentally, I was a reader for Liz Lewis casting.
Right.
And I did as a reader for another one of Sawyer Spielberg's auditions, which he ended up booking the role.
Right.
So now I have a couple things with him.
Although, I must say, some of these famous legendary directors, producers, family are involved in some work, they still got to bring it. They still got to bring the acting skills.
Yeah, you don't want to be defined by what your family's done, of course.
Exactly. And the litany goes on and on. A lot of different famous actors, their kids are, and that's awesome. But you got to bring it, And
there's so many great actors in that movie. I mean, there's
and the fact that it was filmed here on Long Island, right? Smithtown.
It was filmed in Smithtown amongst a couple other towns.
Right.
Yeah, so Tyler is from Long Island.
Right. Okay.
So a lot of the community, it wasn't a tremendous budget, but certain places in Long Island helped out because it's a community-based project. The fire department lent some fire trucks for one of the scenes.
Wow.
We're filming. Had to be below zero that night.
Jeez.
There must have been 500 extras in the street rooting on a couple of the actors on the fire truck dancing. But the movie, it's light comedy.
Very
it's
cool.
just a fun.
Very cool.
It's a fun Christmas movie that anybody
I can't wait to
is
see
going
it.
to want to watch.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. There is one other person that I wanted to talk to with Angel Salza. It's a picture that he's in, picture 8, I believe it is. So this guy from Scarface, also the Gilbert Diaries, right? This guy, he's incredible.
He is quite a character in real life.
You think?
In real life. But like if you see him in a movie, that doesn't do the movies.
Right,
Scarface,
right.
That doesn't even do justice to how much of a character in real life he is. Like, he also does stand-up comedy. His agent, I work with his agent also, John Vince, and John Vince tells me that Angel's comedy shows are to die for. His Instagram's funny. He posts kind of borderline politically incorrect stuff though, so you have to have very dark humor to like his stuff. But in person, he is hilarious. And we hit it off. We worked. I've worked on a couple projects with Danny Provenzano, who's the director of This Thing of Ours, which was an award-winning movie with Vincent Pastore and some other big actors. Danny Provenzano is a close friend of mine. Also, he's pretty big in the film industry. He worked on Art Thief also.
So future aspirations, what do you got for me? As far as where do you see yourself in 5 years? I mean, with acting, look, you've turned the corner now with independent films. You got a handle on that. Mainstream, I mean, where do you see yourself? I mean, you're a character, man. I can definitely see you right up there, you know, with major productions that are happening, which you've probably been part of already. But I'm talking about major stuff. I mean,
I've had a lot. What I usually tell people is I've had a lot of small roles in big things and big roles in small things, but I'm starting to get big roles in big things.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a progression.
I've done a few Netflix shows that we didn't like. I did Rami, which is an award-winning show. It kind of sucks because my audition for Rami, I was supposed to be a guest star in multiple scenes with Rami himself, the writer and all that, but they cut those scenes. They made a couple smaller scenes, which is still awesome scene that I'm in that. I did a couple other Netflix shows, but the point is, but all the Netflix shows I did a national commercial, but all these things that I did, like the big ones, the Blue Bloods, they're smaller roles. I want to become a series regular, or I want to become.
You want
not for the or in a Hollywood film, I want to become the star. Not for the fame. I really don't care about fame. It's to be able to number one.
Keep working.
It's to be able to play a character and tell a story within that character. I also am very passionate about writing. I've written for Fuzz on the Lens Productions. I Want My Lauren, big people, and I write for Bragging Rights, which is a show that's performed at the Pit for 8 years. I'm very passionate about writing too. So at some point, I want my writing. I want to be able to tell stories and give it to people who can put it out there, because I think I have a lot to offer in storytelling, both comedically and dramatically. And this is another. We won't go down the hole, but I'm very passionate about things growing up in Brooklyn. And,
it'll come. I mean,
and I have stories to tell based on that.
Yeah. I mean, even with your acting, your writing skills, all this stuff, it's just gonna happen. One day, it's just going to blow up because you're just too good, man. And I really appreciate you coming in on my first show back in a couple of years. And I can't have a better person to start off this show back. And Chris, thank you so much, man.
Thank you for having me, wanting me. And I hope that we look back at this 5 or 10 years from now and say, holy SHIT, that was...
Right? It's cool,
So much has changed, but
right.
positive. That was a great
Well, let me
time.
tell you something. I'm going to have you back. I'm going to have you back when you're a big movie star. You're on your way, man. You're on your way, kiddo. But I really appreciate you stopping in here at Buzz Talk Live, my new set, live, in person, not virtually. This is awesome.
It's an amazing studio.
Thanks.
And, as fellow Italians, we're like family.
Of course.
Even if we don't see each other for 3 years, we could probably pick up where we left off.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is. That's how it is. I'll see you in a couple of days. Everyone, I can't thank you enough for tuning in tonight. This has been an extraordinary show, to say the least. Being here live in person with someone next to me, interviewing, being part of the Strong Island TV family here at Paradise Studios. I can't thank Bobby enough for what he's done, welcoming me here in this spot. And stay tuned, man. There's going to be more happening with this show. and we'll see where it goes and where it lands. But stay tuned. Good night, America.